You're watching RTV News with me, Jane Mutoni. More than 400,000 secondary school students across the country have started their national exams. More than 30 billion Rwandan francs will be used for the 5th population and housing census that is expected to be done in the next 2 weeks. A very warm welcome to the news in details. Now, more than 400,000 secondary school students across the country have started their national exams. Now, the Ministry of Education says that it is going to revise the way the different categories of students' scores are announced, including primary schools, because previously the methodology employed left stakeholders confused, including parents who could not understand their children's scores. Isabel Masozera has this report.
The official opening at the national level of O-level and A-level and technical studies national exams kicked off this morning at Shorongi Secondary School in Rulindo district. About 216 students from this particular school were joined by their peers from neighboring schools for this examination, which started at exactly 8:30 in the morning. Before taking the exams, some of the students spoke to us about how they have prepared for the challenge. I was afraid, but after I prayed, the fear disappeared. I tried to revise as much as I can, and I know that God will help me pass. They gave us a lot of quizzes, tests, and exams to help us prepare. That's why I feel ready. I feel ready. I am not afraid at all. I have prepared myself well. Using previous exams and daily lessons has helped me prepare. The headmistress of Rusiga School in Gabire Media, who was also tasked with the monitoring of the examination center, said that even though the previous year 2021, the COVID-19 pandemic prevented them from conducting their exams, they continued to support the students. The COVID-19 pandemic was a big obstacle. The students were supposed to do their exams the previous year. That's why we made time to talk to the students and advise them to read hard as they wait for the right time to take the exams. By 11:30 a.m., Senior 6 students at St. Andrews Center in Kigali had concluded their first exam.
According to how I have seen the exams, I can't say it was easy, but it was not that hard as we expected. There was nothing different from what we have learned. I believe 100% it is possible to pass. It was ordinary and easy, like the way our teachers taught us. I have prepared well, and I believe that I will pass. Rwanda's Minister of State for Primary and Secondary School at the Ministry of Education, who officially launched the national exams for different levels of secondary schools, said they have changed the way the grades used to be announced in order to make it easier for everyone to understand them.
We have tried to improve the processes and rules and laws by which all these exams are conducted. And in a few days, NESA will be explaining and publishing some of these standards and instructions around these exams, and this is going to help us explain to the public how all these exams are conducted, how the marking is done, and how the results are also published. And another thing that we are going to see as the results get published is that we have harmonized the marking system and how marks are recorded. You know that in the past we used to have different ways to to record and to publish marks across the country, and we had different ways of doing it. If you were in primary, you had your own system. If you were in O-level, you had your own system. Even if you were in TVET or TTCs, you had your own system. But now we tried to have a harmonized scoring system, and this is something that we are going to also be explaining over the next few days.
A total of 429,151 students registered to take the national exams in the different levels of secondary schools. 127,469 O-level and 47,579 in A-level. 2,906 students from teacher training centers, also known as TTCs, and 21,338 from TVET schools. Isabel Masozera, RTV News.
Thank you, Isabel, for that report. Now, more than 30 billion Rwandan francs will be used for the 5th population and housing census that is expected to be done in the next 2 weeks. Now, the National Institute of Statistics requests various authorities at different levels to participate in the smooth running of this process and for the people as well to cooperate. Take a look. Vehicles have already dispatched their equipment to different parts of the country, which will be used by census clerks in collecting data. Some of the residents who have been tested for the 5th population and housing census say that they do understand the importance of this census.
This population census is helpful in terms of knowing how the Rwandan population is increasing on a daily basis. It is necessary to have the information while making the public plans. Historically, the population of people has always been increasing, but the land they live on does not increase, which is why, after a certain period of time, a population census is carried out in order to know at which rate the population is increasing and advise citizens on how to adjust.
About 28,000 primary school teachers will be used as census clerks and are currently receiving training. Director General at National Institute of Statistics, Yusuf Murangwa, says that the preparation of this population and housing census is coming to an end, and its specialty is the use of technology compared to the other censuses that have taken place.
We shall be using technological equipment, including using smartphones, to collect information. Census clerks who will be working in this census know how to use smartphones, but due to the technology they will use, we are training them, and we ask the people to participate, especially in giving rendezvous so that we can count them properly. It's important that they give us a fixed schedule which they will meet to facilitate this census.
Local authorities play a major role in this census, as their responsibility is to encourage citizens to participate in the census and answer the questions asked. The Minister of Local Government, Gatabazi Jean-Marie Vianney, urges the people to provide complete information, especially on the night of the census scheduled for the 15th to 16th of August 2022, and assures them that this process will not affect their daily activities.
The census will not in any way disrupt people's activities. It will be conducted in a well-fashioned manner. Local leaders should use radios to get this message across and explain it clearly.
Some residents have expressed a low opinion based on their beliefs, which can hinder the smooth running of this process, with some thinking that the information they will provide will be used in determining the social categories or can be used to determine the tax levels. The Director General of the National Institute of Statistics, Yusuf Murangwa, assures them that the information that they will provide will be used in the fiscal year budget only.
The census is only for planning purposes. It is not for determining social categories, and the information that the people will give us will not be used by any other authorities than those in charge of planning.
So far, 4 population censuses have been conducted in Rwanda. The first was in August 1978. The total population was 4,831,527. Those who live in cities, 222,727. Iku, to 4.6%. Those who live in rural areas are 4,608,800, equal to 95.4%. In 1991, another census was conducted and the total population was 7,157,551. The urban population was 391,194, or 5.5%. There were 6,766,357 people living in rural areas, or 94.5%. In August 2002, another census was conducted and the total population was 8,128,553. Those living in cities were 1,372,604, or 16.9%. There were 6,755,949 people living in rural areas, or 83.1%. The last census was conducted in August 2012. The total population was 10,515,973. The urban population was 1,737,684, or 16.5%, and the rural population was 8,778,289, or 83.5%. Based on the rate of population growth in Rwanda, the National Institute of Statistics shows that the population of Rwandans in 2021 may have reached 12,955,736, which could be an increase of 2.31%. That was quite a number. Used technology retailers find that initiating a system detailing precise information on buyers and sellers ought to reduce theft occurrences where stolen goods are sold. Precious Kirezi has this report.
Like any other markets, the telecommunication sector is most operational in the center of Kigali at the post office, which is where most electronic equipment is purchased as well. However, it is uncommon for sellers to note down their personal information. Gandia Jean Bosco, who has been a cell phone retailer for the past 10 years, emphasizes that noting down information on sellers will discourage those selling stolen goods when participating in sales.
This is a way to maintain confusion and electronic theft and ensure more security, as well as find a way to communicate with the rightful owners while also linking theft perpetrators to RIB.
The Iterambere Cooperative has started keeping a written record of whoever comes in to sell electronic equipment, especially phones. This has occurred in a time when security agencies don't have their concern on electronic theft. Director General of Rwanda Inspectorate Competition and Consumer Protection Authority Beatrice Uwumukiza points out that having information on the buyers and sellers of electronic equipment eradicates the confusion that isn't uncommon with sales of this nature. People get robbed of their phones when on the street. This brings about minimal security for the rightful owners of the property and sellers who don't know the true origin of their products, which is why we brought regulations on board to address these concerns. Effective July 11th, regulations regarding the sale of electronics have been put in place, and they entail having an ID certificate indicating the origin of the product and a receipt that matches the identity of the person who purchased said product to the one intending to sell it. Those who often indulge in the sale of electronics said the measures put in place pose an advantage to sellers and buyers alike.
The first benefit we've derived from this is provision of our services being secure. The exchange of information clears doubts and creates an open channel of contact in case of confusion.
In addition, the regulations require the buyer and seller to have a written agreement in place that details information on both parties, which National Police spokesperson John Bosco Kabera has pointed out makes it easier to locate those selling stolen goods.
These regulations will make it easier for us to capture those engaging in electronic theft because they will be sharing information on where they can be located, which we didn't have access to prior. Sellers who don't provide information will not be given a license. those who find abandoned electronics with the intent to sell ought to provide information about themselves and the product to the potential seller.
Since the initiation of these regulations on the 11th of July, approximately 14 businesses and people have applied for work permits and have been given 2-year permits. They'll be visited and inspected in due time, and those violating regulations will be in position to be temporarily or permanently suspended, depending on the gravity of their actions. Precious Chidezi, RTV News.
Thank you, Precious. Now, on Tuesday, the Ministry of Health, in partnership with AstraZeneca, officially launched the project Healthy Heart Africa, which aims at preventing and controlling the condition of hypertension, as well as other cardiovascular diseases, which are on the rise in Africa. Olive Nete has this report.
The officially launched Healthy Heart Africa project is expected to work in 60 different healthcare facilities in 3 districts, namely Gatsibo, Gachienye, and Nyarugenge. The project will particularly raise awareness and educate people about the risk factors of the cardiovascular diseases. It will also train providers and driving care to lower levels of the healthcare system, and also facilitate access to low-cost, high-quality antihypertensive drugs. Dr. Albert Ishime, the head of Disease Prevention and Control at Rwanda Biomedical Center, noted that this program will assist in strengthening the existing program of preventing and controlling non-communicable diseases.
Nk'uko rero twahoze tubivuga n'ubundi hashize imyaka 2 gusa.
As we have been saying, it's been 2 years since we started a program that will be implemented in 5 years to fight against non-communicable diseases. The program includes 3 main things. The first is to work on sensitizing people, because people can have these kind of diseases without being aware of them. The important thing is that a person should be aware of when to get checkups and also follow all the needed treatments. The second thing is to help Rwandans to get access to medical care, where this program is in various healthcare centers, where patients can get access to these services, and also this program will be done by healthcare providers. One of the pillars of treating these diseases includes sensitization, but also capacity building of healthcare providers, including lower levels of healthcare system. There is a program of training them in various activities that are needed in the health sector.
Aisling Mulvani, the Vice President of Access to Healthcare and Global Sustainability at AstraZeneca, noted that the program aims at facilitating people with those diseases to get access to medical care easily.
The program is designed to contribute to the prevention and control of hypertension and to decrease the burden of cardiovascular disease across Africa. Healthy Heart Africa aspires to reach 10 million people with elevated blood pressure by 2025, and we will do this through working with local and global partners by increasing awareness and educating around lifestyle choices and risk factors, training providers and driving care to lower levels of the healthcare system, and facilitate access to antihypertensive medicines where that's applicable.
According to Rwanda Biomedical Center, in aged people, at least 1 person in 6 has hypertension. According to the research done, 21.3% are aware that they have the disease, while 11.2% of the people have severe hypertension. The Healthy Heart Project will be implemented by PATH, a global non-profit organization dedicated to end health inequity. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Germany's ambassador in Rwanda has visited projects supported by the cooperation that exists between Gisagara district and the Rhineland-Palatinate, and noted that such cooperation is beneficial because people are able to share ideas on how to tackle different issues, sometimes of global importance.
At Gisagara Parish, students from the Rhineland-Palatinate and an art school in Gicumbi district have come together to paint a giant mural on the altar to help believers with their prayers, an initiative that has been much appreciated by those of the faith. Here in the church, they are painting the mural to illustrate the different ways in which a person can pray using the environment, things like trees, plants, and even the sun. They find such things very helpful and wanted to share them with Rwandans through the painting and also to facilitate prayers at the parish.
kubaka no gukora ubukorikori bwashimisha abakiri bato n'abakuru.
The church was among the locations Germany's ambassador visited, noting that it is always beneficial when people from different backgrounds work together.
We're gaining experience, we're gaining a different view on things. Yes, it just broadens your mind, how people here in Rwanda or generally in Africa do see things. It's not always the same as we do see them, or we do not have the solutions for everything, for every challenge, every problem, but together with a slightly different mindset people here, so we learn a lot, and together we may find solutions to our common challenges, be it climate change or whatever we have.
The cooperation between Gisagara district and the Rhineland-Palatinate has indeed been very fruitful over the years. We have extensive cooperation with them, especially in schools. When the COVID-19 pandemic was at its worst, they helped with the installation of more than 20 hand-washing stations in schools, and there have also been other initiatives geared towards protecting the environment, the construction of health centers as well as sports. On the broader front, in the last 40 years of cooperation between Rwanda and the Rhineland-Palatinate, much has also been done through projects like KFW that has built health centers in Gisagara district through LODA. There has also been cooperation at the individual level which has focused on education and health, and we appreciate it. The partnership between the Rhineland-Palatinate and Rwanda began in 1982 as an unusual attempt by the two countries to reshape development policy and has now become an internationally recognized model of citizen-oriented, decentralized and efficient development cooperation at the local level.
The 25th edition of Rwanda International Trade Fair started on Tuesday here in Kigali, and on the first day there was a steady stream of exhibitors bringing in their products, and visitors had also started pouring in. Betty Mutoni has this report.
Amrit Soni has attended Rwanda International Trade Fair for the first time, and he came from Denmark. He sells solar products, and he's expecting a lot from this exhibition that is bringing together different countries all over the world.
I feel that physically being present is more important, and at the same time when we did our research to find out which could be a good exhibition to participate into, we found that this one is the best where we can, because the duration is long and we have different countries coming in from all around the world to come and see what kind of products we can get. So that is what where we felt that this is important to be here physically. And we are planning to establish office here in Rwanda and then expand into the African markets.
Day one saw only a few visitors to the expo, but the exhibitors are confident that this will change.
To us, the exhibition is so important that it helps us to show our products to the customers, and even it will enable us to make the exportation to the world. So that maybe in the future we can earn the foreign currencies. So that even our neighbors within our country, people can use our own products so as to develop our nation. And also we shall pay the taxes. This also will help with other people to build up our country.
I already come so many times in Rwanda, and I like here. I like Rwanda. I like Rwandan hospitality, and I really like this kind of good show.
I expect to actually have a lot of people come through. I believe we get at least 1 million come through at this expo. So that's a lot of people to be able to reach in one go, right?
Teonesti Najengerwa, the private sector federation spokesperson, noted that Expo has played a big role in promoting made in Rwanda products, but also helped in getting partnerships worldwide, hence easing the exportation of these products.
This Expo has been contributing to our economy, first of all, by creating jobs for those short-term jobs that are now we are having for the exhibitors, and there are some who are helping them to in the exhibition. But specifically when we look at the longer-term achievement of the exhibition, there are now companies that came to exhibit in Rwanda, and they enjoyed how the market received their products. They started new plants and oil production lines here in Rwanda. There are those who have opened some shops and businesses in Rwanda, and the others who have got some representative from their products. So those are the three key achievements of the exhibition, but also it helped our Made in Rwanda products to get opportunity to compare their products to those from outside, and also to get new sources of raw materials, packaging materials, and also where they can even export. Because sometimes when they meet with exhibitors who are coming here, they become their partners, and they can also export to their countries.
469 exhibitors that are participating in the 25th edition of International Trade Fair are from different countries around the world, including 3 participating for the first time: Denmark, South Korea, and the United Arab Emirates. The trade fair is taking place at the Gikondo Expo grounds and is opening daily from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. for the next 3 weeks. Betty Mutoni, RwandaTV News.
Well, there you have it. On behalf of the entire news production team, thank you so much for your company. I'm Jane Mutoni. Bye for now.